Hello, you're welcome back to SaharaTV in New York City. My name is Omoyele Shore, and we are going to the side of our show today that discuss the live election updates from Nigeria, Ondo State. And I've been advised that we have on the phone directly from Abuja the spokesperson for the Independent National Electoral Commission, Kayode Idowu. Hello, Mr. Kayode Idowu.
Hello.
Yes.
Really, how are you?
Very good. You're welcome to SaharaTV in New York. We want you to give us an idea of how the election is going on in Ondo State. We understand it's almost 3 p.m. Nigerian time, and by now we should have a clear picture of where things are headed. If you have situation reports regarding how this particular election is going, can you please share with us?
Exactly. It's now exactly about 10 minutes to 3 in Nigeria. And from the reports that we have in our control room, our situation room here, the poll started right on time in about 92% of the polling units. We have 3,007 polling units where this election is being conducted. And we have the report that things are going perfectly in about between 92 and 95% of the polling units. Of course, elections are not mathematics. And so the question of why is it not 100% can arise. But then we are dealing with a sociological issue. For instance, we have a case, just an isolated case, in Akure South, where in a ward, the supervisor did not deliver the polling materials on time because, contrary to the regulation that should be handed over to the presiding officers to take to their polling units, the supervisor thought better to take it around the polling units, and for that some ground was lost. But that's the first polling unit over one ward out of over 200 wards that we have. And so, I mean, speaking generally for us, we think the elections have gone on perfectly well.
Well, we received a press release today from the Action Congress Party of Nigeria saying that, there are not adequate materials in some places and they are not getting enough accreditation for their members who are supposed to represent them at the polling. Did you hear any of this type of report?
I think that many of those reports are not exactly true.
Okay.
Now, like I told you, because it is not mathematics, things are not 100% fang on the nail. But the truth of the matter is that in the isolated areas, while we got reports of inadequacy of material for whatever reason, it's not supposed to be. I'm not saying it is supposed to be so. But for whatever reason, and they are extremely isolated, take my word for that. Immediately we got those reports, we responded. And as I speak with you, there is nowhere that there is a report that has not been addressed concerning the issue of inadequacy of materials. That is not true.
How would you go ahead?
Yes. Then as for the issue of accreditation, now again that is not true because there is a procedure. Agents are not accredited on election day. That is okay. We gave them ID cards long before now. There was a deadline when parties were supposed to submit the names of their agents to the commission. With all the flexibility that we gave, we make sure that it wasn't supposed to be less than 7 days to the elections, such that we could print ID cards and give it to them, such that they are already accredited before they are able to even accompany the election materials as they have been doing. So if anybody is telling you that on election day the agents are not being accredited, it simply flies in the face of logic because agents are not accredited on election day.
Let me ask you, what do you think about the turnout today? Are you impressed with the turnout of voters on this particular day?
Well, you see, I cannot speak authentically and authoritatively on turnout because you only no turnout, when there's an aggregation of the results, and you're able to compare that with registered voter. But going by what we see on the screen, that we see from the situation room, we see people on the queue. And that suggests that people turned out. And so from what we see, I think there's a good turnout. But we can only speak authoritatively on turnout when we begin to aggregate the number of ballots that are cast against the number of registered voters.
So, if I may ask you, have you seen a remarkable improvement in conduct of elections since April 2011 when the last general election was held? Because you've had several state gubernatorial elections, you've had various other elections. So, are you feeling comfortable in your skin that your practices are gaining more credibility generally in terms of conduct of elections?
Absolutely, because like I told you, if we this is the first time that we are able to achieve over 90% or about 95% punctuality rate. That's an improvement, for instance. Then if you look at the build-up to the elections, we also perfected our processes far more than we did in the past elections. For instance, except people are just going to be unfair because of politics. Nobody will tell you that INEC was not more transparent in the processes leading up to these elections. When we were as well as the ballots, the election materials were flew into Ondo State from Abuja, party agents were at the airports with the commission to receive the ballot papers. They accompanied the ballot papers and the ballot boxes and all the other sensitive material. They accompanied it together with the commission to Central Bank. When those things were taken out of Central Bank on Thursday, they were there. And when they were being dispatched, because the ballot, the sensitive materials were sent first to Idowu, the two riverine local governments. They accompany those ballot papers. They accompany those ballot boxes. I mean, these are things that ideally we are getting a better hold of. I mean, we may not.
Because I wanted to ask you how you handle those very difficult terrains like Ondo, local government area, which is very, very difficult Delta region to monitor and police electoral materials. How is that? How are you handling that?
Yeah, what we did was we made sure we brought the deployment time forward by 24 hours.
Okay.
In order to ensure that, because we learned from Edo, and taking the lessons from Edo, rather than materials being deployed on Friday, we deployed to Ilaje and Esudo. We deployed on Thursday.
Okay.
Yes, just to make sure that we do not give room for delays. And thankfully, the materials got there and the election started. And so we were able also, even for the other ones, another change in Ondo, for instance, is we deploy our deployment strategy before was that we deploy to the furthermost local governments first, and then we deploy to the nearest local government last. And that was why in April, the local government in this city complained that they didn't receive voting material, and they were asking how the places that were further receive voting material. The truth of the matter was that then we started deploying to the furthermost local government first, and by the time we came to the nearest local government to our office, there were emergencies that delayed the local government. But this time, we deployed simultaneously to all the local governments. So that's another lesson that we got from Edo. We deploy simultaneously to all the local governments.
Yeah. Okay. So also, just let me ask you, because I know you have to go back to work today. When should we expect the first results of this election? Can you give us an idea of timing?
Well, we are hoping that within 24 hours, the official results will be announced.
Okay.
And that is by tomorrow. Of course, you know that the official procedure is that it is the returning officer that has the power to declare results. But then, results are announced at the polling units as voting closes.
Okay.
And so parties that have agents and polling units, within 2 hours of the election closing, if they are honest with themselves and they really have agents that are up and doing, they will know the results, but they can't announce those results because by law, results can only be announced.
Yeah.
Yes, by law, results can only be announced by the returning officer. Even INEC Abuja cannot announce the results.
Yeah.
It is only the returning officer on ground that has the legal mandate to announce the results.
Well, Mr. Kayode Idowu, we want to thank you very much for coming on SaharaTV and giving us an idea of the progress of the election in Ondo State today. We will be talking to other people on the ground, election monitors. We're going to be, we're trying to reach candidates and parties. But thank you, and if we have any development during our show today, we'll get back to you. Thank you so much for coming once again.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, viewers, this is SaharaTV once again, and we are just giving you an idea of what is going on in Ondo State, in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. Ondo State is the southwestern part of Nigeria, but that's the beginning, part of the beginning of the Niger Delta region as well, where elections are holding to choose a governor, oil-rich state, Ondo State. So we will be talking, as a matter of fact, to other actors on the ground. We have lined up observers. We will be trying to talk to the candidates and of their representatives. We will try and reach parties and ordinary people who are on the ground to give us an idea of what is happening in Ondo State today with regards to the elections. So far, we are hearing that the elections have been going on a little smoothly. There is information that one of the commissioners to the incumbent governor was arrested with arms in his car somewhere in Ondo State today. So we'll bring you all these updates. If they are not on the TV show, they will be on the website. We'll ensure that everything you need to know regarding this election is made available. So please do not go away. We'll be back with more telephone calls to people on the ground in Ondo State.